Nations kicks off this weekend, and of course over the past few days I've predicted each and every one of the groups to make up my teams that will go through to the knockout stages. But who will actually lift the trophy at the end of the Slicker Bloody tournament? Who's it going to be? I'll tell you all about it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. Today we're looking at the knockout stages of the African Cup of Nations, and we'll get to that in just one second. Where you been? Smash your subscribe and get your bag up today with all things Afcon related, Quarterfinals related, world football related. We're going to go here, boys. Under one Ruski. That's right. African Cup of Nations kicks off this weekend with Cameroon taking on Burkina Faso to kick off the tournament. But of course, I have already made my predictions for the groups, but we'll and of course we're going to cover the tournament in a bit more detail. But who do I actually think will lift the trophy at the end of the campaign? We'll have a look at it in a minute. Of course, big shout out to my VR Bloody Peas. They are the Patreons, guys. Thank you for your loving, as of course we try to push this bad boy up another level. So here we go then. I'm trying to get things moving. I'll show you what I'm on about, of course, with the picks that I made earlier this past couple of days. Okay, boys, here I am down here. Of course, over the past few days, I've predicted each and every one of the groups, and I've gave you my top two teams, and of course, the best three that have gone through to the knockout stage. This is what I think will happen, of course, and hopefully will be proven right at the end of the campaign. So, recap of it. So, in Group A, I thought Cameroon and Cape Verde would go through. I also believe Burkina Faso will go through as one of the third best teams, with, of course, 3 points on the board. Into Group B, we had Senegal and Guinea going through top bins. Malawi will have to wait, but I believe they go through as well with 1 point. How mad is that? Into Group C, we've got Morocco, Ghana going through top two there. Gabon also go through with 4 points as well. Meanwhile, into D, we've got Egypt and Nigeria going through. Guinea-Bissau and Sudan, unfortunately, they both crash out. They don't make it, according to my eyes. Into Group E, we're close to the back end of it now. Ivory Coast and Algeria go through as well. Top two there. Sierra Leone also crash out. Unfortunately, not good enough for me. And then finally in Group F, we've got Tunisia and Mali going through, with Gambia making it through with, of course, a better goal difference than the past two nations, of course. So here we go. So these are the 16 nations, I believe, that will make it through to the knockout stages over in the African Cup of Nations. Of course, so we have a round of 16, we have a quarterfinals, and we have the semi-finals, of course, followed by the final. So kicking it all off in the top left of the bracket here, we have Cape Verde taking on Ghana. That's right. Of course, I think Ghana are one of the 8 teams I feel that are good enough to go through and at least put themselves a little bit closer to that trophy in this one. Cape Verde will be an underdog, of course, and they're going to be hoping for a lot of these minnows. I would say call them minnows, like the Comoros or the Gabons and the Malawis, of course, will be hoping to do a Greece, who famously won the Euro 2000, I believe, or 2008 or whatever it was. Nobody fancied them to do it. Cape Verde will fall into that bracket, but unfortunately they will crash out here. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Ghana to go through to the quarterfinals, where they'll look on to take on the winner of Egypt and Gambia. That's right, of course, Egypt, one of my favourites to go the distance on this one. But again, they'll have a sticky opponent up against Gambia, who, of course, won their group way back when in qualifying, but this time around came through as third place team. But this is where their journey ends. Big comfortable win for Egypt. Mo Salah and the gang will go through, and of course we'll look forward to take on Ghana in the quarters. That's when it gets really nice. Nasty. Into the next round, then we got these bad boys. It is Burkina Faso. They're going to be taking on, just testing my flag knowledge, Senegal. Again, Senegal can go the distance. They are one of my 8 teams. Burkina Faso, though, are a dark horse. I don't know. They again, in the opening game, of course, kicks off on Sunday. I don't know what to expect from them, to be honest with you. I do expect Cameroon to win, but I think it could be quite tight. And Burkina Faso could be a surprise package for the tournament as well. But I'm going to go with a 2-1 win here for Senegal, and a squeak by Burkina Faso to go through the quarterfinals. And again, they are one of the 8, the power 8 that I feel that will go the distance. However, we have the game of the round out here right now. Of course, into the back end of this top end of the bracket, we have Tunisia up against Algeria. Both of these two nations, I feel, could go the distance. They are the one of the power 8, both of them. I believe one of these guys could make it deep into the competition, but of course, one of them has to crash out. Unfortunately, it will be Tunisia crashing out at the stage. It's going to be a narrow win for Algeria in the, of course, round of 16. It'll send them through and send Tunisia, unfortunately, out, to be honest with you, rather early. So it just goes to show just how important it is to get top bins in your group, because You know, you don't want to be taking on an Algeria side who are like unbeaten in the last 40 games. But can they continue that run all the way through to this tournament? We'll have to wait and see. And to the other half of the graphic now, we have, of course, a right old mess with these flags here. It's Guinea. Guinea to get to take on Mali, of course, in the top end of the graphic. And this is my only penalty shootout victory, I think, in the whole tournament. It's going to be a 2-2 draw at the end of 90 or whatever they do, extra time or whatever. And then Mali will squeak past Guinea to go through to the quarterfinals, where they'll be waiting in the wings. Could they be taking on the hosts, Cameroon, or will they be taking on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's, of course, Gabon? Now, of course, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has picked up the COVID, or is out anyway for at least the opening day, but should Gabon get it through to the knockout stages, I believe he will be back. And his goals will be vital for them to make any sort of impression on this knockout stages, as long as they get through as well. Again, this is my predictions, nobody else's. Unfortunately, I don't think his goals will be good enough. I think it'll be a good game, though. Quite an open sort of game, 3-2 in the end, though. Cameroon will get past this one. Bit of nerves, maybe, for the hosts, but they'll squeak past Gabon, and of course, look forward to a decent opportunity for them to go deep in this competition, again, as hosts. Okay, next up is a bit of a zinger chicken dinner. It's Ivory Coast up against Nigeria. That's right, very, very difficult game to call this one. Quite surprised by the fact that Ivory Coast have not made it to the World Cup. They will not be at Qatar 2022. It's a shame because I think they've got one of the best squads here in Cameroon 2021-2022 in the tournament. I think they've got a starting 11 that could actually rival many teams around the world. So it's unfortunate they're not going to be there Qatar 2022. But of course, standing in the way in this one will be Nigeria, who are at least getting closer to Qatar 2022. But will they be there? We'll have to wait and see. But who's going to come out top on this one? Unfortunately, one of the teams have to lose. I think both of these two are credible contenders to win the pissing thing at the end of the tournament. However, they've got to be beat. They've got to get there. And of course, when you get there, you've got to beat the best. Unfortunately, Ivory Coast will win this one. They'll go through, of course, beating Nigeria in the process. For me, I have Ivory Coast coming out top with a 2-1 win over Nigeria to go through and, of course, send the old Super Eagles out of it. Of course, but they've got Qatar 2022 to look forward to. Finally, the back end of the first round of the knockout stage, aka second round, we'll see Morocco up against Malawi, and I think it'll be a comfortable win for Morocco to go through to the quarterfinals. So into the quarterfinals, we go to the final 8, and these are the matches that, of course, will be waiting for us. So we have Ghana kicking us all off at the top of the bracket up against Egypt, and again, both these two sides will fancy the chances to go deep in this competition. However, squad depth, maturity, experience, all that kind of stuff. We're looking at the Dutch version of Africa here, and I'm going to go with Egypt to come out on top with a 2-1 win over Ghana, knock them out. Of course, they haven't got the superstar standouts from yesteryear. They've got a couple of really 2 or 3, maybe a handful of decent players, but Egypt, I think they've got more experience across the board, and I think they're going to be one to avoid as, of course, the tournament goes into the latter stages. Speaking of latter stages, we've got the back end of this first half. The other quarterfinal, we have Senegal, difficult opposition up against an Algeria side, like I said, on this incredible unbeaten run of 40-plus games. Coin toss between these two sides, and again, winner of this will fancy the chances to go to the final, of course, to take on one of the other boys on this one. But unfortunately, I think Algeria will keep their unbeaten run going. 2-0 win over Senegal. Of course, the winning mentality is there. Of course, they've been grinding it out for a long, long time. I think they've got the longest run in international football. Of course, when they lose, it's going to be heartbreak for them. But they'll get a win on their column on this one. And of course, move themselves closer to, of course, a final. But of course, standing in the way will be Egypt, and we'll elaborate on that in a minute. Over on the other side of the bracket, we have Mali up against, of course, the hosts, Cameroon. Of course, I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for the hosts. Cameroon will sidestep this one. Awkward little opponent. But of course, Cameroon will want to go the distance on their home turf as well, depending on how many fans will be there as well. And to another zinger on this one, we have Ivory Coast up against Morocco. And like I said, Ivory Coast's first 11, as long as they keep fit and, of course, playing, they're going to be a team to fear. Of course, Morocco also got some really good players, especially up top. Got some really attacking phenomenons up there. But unfortunately, it's not going to be good enough. I think the Côte d'Ivoire will be fancying their chances here as they edge closer into the semis. And of course, we've set up our final 4 of that. 3-1 win for them over Morocco. So here we are, the final 4 nations that I believe will make up the Africa Cup of Nations. And of course, one half of the semi-finals will be Egypt up against Algeria. Mo Salah up against one of the longest, if not the longest, unbeaten run going in international football. It's Algeria. But is that going to be enough for Egypt to go through to the final? I don't think so. I think Algeria I think it's Carlos Queiroz is your manager for Algeria. Phenomenal work he's doing so far for Algeria. Again, they're on the reckoning to go through to Qatar 2022, and again, there'll be a decent little team there should they get to the tournament, and of course the back end of this year. So unfortunately for Egypt and Mo Salah, the semi-finals will be it for them. I'm going to go with just the 1-0, keeping clean sheets as well. They've been doing that. They've been historically banging out clean sheets of Algeria. So 1-0 win for them to set up a final. But who will take on them in the final? Will it be the hosts, of course, Cameroon, or will it be, of course, the hotly tipped, hotly fancied, and of course, unlucky Ivory Coast, who, of course, are not going to Qatar 2022. It's a shame. But they'll get to the final here with a 2-1 win over the host to send them out of the semi-finals. That's right. I've set up a zinger chicken dinner of a final. It's the unbeaten Algeria up against the hotly tipped, hotly fancied, in my eyes anyway, Ivory Coast. Look at the 11. Look at the starting 11. Of course, they should be feared across the world of football. But, of course, can they actually become champions of Africa, basically, up against the unbeaten side of Algeria, who've just been chipping away, of course, and they want to use this as a springboard into Qatar 2022. Will they be there as champions of Africa, or will the champions of Africa be watching from the sidelines? They will be watching from the sidelines. I'm going with a 2-1 win for Ivory Coast. That's right. They'll become champions at the end of the tournament after a 2-1 win over Algeria to become African Cup of Nations 2021, 2022, wherever you are, however you look at the tournament. Ivory Coast, for me, are the team to bloody watch. They are, of course, unlucky not to go to Qatar 2022, but of course they'll make up for the shortcomings here by being victorious, of course, over in this January's spectacular. Make sure you let me know your thoughts and opinions down below as we look forward to the start of the tournament, and of course what awaits us, of course, around the corner. But that, my friends, is it. Be sure to give the video some love and smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe, check the links down below on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and of course Patreon as well, guys. Give us some love over there. If you think yourselves are an African football specialist, let me know down below. I'm trying to get myself a band of Avengers. We're trying to get an African football specialist, an American football specialist, an Australian football specialist, all those kind of stuff. Let me know that you're interested. Get in amongst it, and of course become part of the new Overseas Avengers. Anyway, until then, guys, smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe, check the links down below on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and of course Patreon. Until then, dudes, we're done. Roll on, Afcon, baby. I'm all about it.